My name is Rosby Albeza. We're the Albeza family.
My name is Felipe Albeza. Of course, I'm her husband. She got to know Power2Parent to a sort of rally awareness that was
Yeah.
held in that CCSD. And little did we know that we need them because we have 4 boys. Of course, boys, especially teenage years, get into trouble unintentionally. Then this big problem came up, and then she thought about Power2Parent, and we connected with Deborah and Aaron. My son is very opinionated, I would say. His name is Ethan. I have 2 sons that go to Northwest Career and Technical. It's a magnet school. So apparently he's involved in a friendly conversation with one of his buddies and one friend as well, a young lady who professed that she's a lesbian. So how it started over there when they had a very controversial topics, but it's among friends. It's on a table, and then when she mentioned that she's a lesbian, and he said to her that I don't blame you for liking girls because girls are hot. After that, we got a call that we had an incident. Someone complained about my son saying those, and we learned that the one that complained was a bystander, meaning someone who's eavesdropping. Initially, we asked, how did you come up with that, without charges on him? What did he do to deserve that? And the one that made that decision answer was just that sort of like accept it, saying that if I cannot tell you, just appeal it, which is not an answer at all. It's just like, deal with it, go and appeal.
Just to back up a little bit, we were not aware of my son being charged with what he said in the context of I don't blame you for liking girls. Girls are kind of hot. Because when we were informed of the bullying RMI charge against my son, in the detailed report that I requested from the school to find out more about it, there was no mention about that statement. So when they handed out the verdict to my son that he is guilty of RMI/bullying, we have no idea for what thing he had done to be constituted as such. So when we talked to the assistant principal who handed out that verdict, she said that's something we can ask during our appeal. During the appeal with the principal, that's when she explained to us that my son made that statement. That's why they're charging him with RMI. RMI is racially motivated incident. And then when we went back home, we asked our son, have they talked to you about these comments? Because this is new to us because it wasn't in our report, the copy of the report that they gave us. And he said, Mom, nobody asked me about it. So how can they charge you with something you were not even investigated upon? So we wrote a letter to the principal that this is not right. What they did to our son was not just. There's no justice in that. This is not how you go through an investigation process. It is not a full investigation. You just charge him with what he said based on what the 2 other witnesses said against him, but you never asked him about it. So how can that be a thorough and impartial investigation? So what she did, according to my son, was he was called again to the office the following day to ask him about this statement that he made.
In other
So
words,
it's just a
they put in the decision without proper investigation because there's still investigation. The decision for him to be charged was already there. He appealed with the principal, and then we went to the principal. Unfortunately, the principal is not understanding as well.
So when I asked her, why does gender fall under race? I don't understand that because it was never in the definition of race to have gender inside it. Well, according to her, she was told by their equity department that gender falls under race and race fall under bullying. That's why he's being charged with bullying. So it does not make sense at all to us.
Yeah, but she did
How
say that
they
my
approach this
son
whole
did not do
situation.
bullying. So my statement to her is that if he did not commit bullying, then where is that RMI falls under? Because you have to make bullying first and then get a determination after that. But the thing is that what makes us kind of perplexed is that even the principal said that my son did not bully anyone except that he said those words. And to me, there's nothing wrong with what he said, you know. But she said that she would still push through with that charges and everything on his record. Everything will stay. So we asked him about an appeal as well. We sent an email, and then she called us, and again we discussed that. She said she's gonna stay the charges as well. So my question is that what did my son said that constitute for him to be charged with that? He said nothing bad about the other girl. In fact, they're still, you know, cordial to each other. But she said she will still continue or stay the charges.
So when we research RMI online, it's a hate crime. And that instantly triggered us, wow, for a 15-year-old boy, our son to be branded as somebody who committed a hate crime, that's huge. We don't know how it's gonna affect his future, but to me, just to be branded a hate crime, I don't think any school will accept you for that behavior, or any employer will be willing to accept you as an employee if you're branded as somebody who is racist and who has committed a hate crime. So that's why we were very concerned for them to be putting that in his record.
Yeah, actually, I asked that same question to the principal. And the principal, I don't know what her intention was, but she's trying to appease us so much that, you know, saying something that is not true. Her statement was, you know, don't worry about it. I mean, nobody would look at this record when it comes to that, or he's not going to be affected by it as long as he doesn't apply with the Secret Service or the FBI. Which is, you know, at that point, I know she's not telling the truth. She's just trying to be nice, I guess. And then at that point, I realized that, you know, they're not really serious about it. Because as an administrator of a school, when someone is applying to be a student, the first thing that you gotta ask is your behavioral issues. But, you know, to be straightforward, you know, it's very detrimental for a 15-year-old boy who's starting his life. We don't know. I can only imagine how it would affect him in his studies, at work, when he's trying to apply, and in all aspects of his life.
So after our appeal with the principal, because that's how the policy is written, if the investigation is done by the assistant principal, the next level of appeal will be with the principal of the same school. So we were under the impression that with the appeal, it is very clear with the statute and regulations that my son did not commit any bullying. So we were confident when we went there to appeal and wrote a follow-up letter with her that she will dismiss it because it does not meet the criteria. But when she decided to stay the case and the charges against my son, we were like at the end of our rope. Like, we did our best. We thought we had everything researched and prepared during the appeal, but when it still did not work for us, we don't know where to turn. And I guess through God's grace, I realized, oh, there is this organization, Power2Parent. I'm a member of this organization. Maybe I can reach out to them and maybe just ask for the insight. What do they think about what happened to us? Do they have any recommendation? Can they show us where to go? Maybe resources, where to appeal, or what to do after? Because the appeal, when it's done with the principal, the next level will be Department of Education. And I think this is a very big thing that we have to really learn more about and prepare for, because this is our son's life that we're trying to protect and, preserve, so that we can have his future all laid out for him. If that's what parents do, make sure that they have a brighter future.
Yeah, really, as a parent, you can advocate and support your children 100%, but in a situation like this, you need the backing and support of an organization like Power2Parent. We did a research, all the NRS and everything. We did the email. It was a powerful email. All the laws that we encounter protects my son. But they were just thinking probably, or Department of Education, and this is just one family, we can just, set them aside. They'll probably accept their fate, and then she mentioned Power2Parent, and then we got a hold of Aaron and Deborah. So they gave us really advice that you cannot get anywhere, and then we follow what they advise us, and then continue with meetings and everything, and then communicate through email. We forwarded every communication that we have to them, and then we brainstorm, and then set up another meeting with Department of Education, and then that day comes where I think it was 3 PhD, right? That we talked to. I forgot the names, but they're fair-minded, and I like their input as well. But that day, with our lawyer as well, Richard Scotty, was there. We lay our case, and then did they ask for more days, right, to decide on it? And then we waited and waited. December 22nd, I think. December 22nd, we finally got the letter from the Department of Education that the decision to reverse all the charges and my son's record to be cleared of bullying. Little do we know that we still have to fight to remove the records of my son's behavioral record or report. I thought it was automatic because the letter, says that, and the letter of the law already says that. We did email them about that. We even, the principal said, I haven't gotten into it. She said that I'm waiting for an advice from them. She emailed us the report, but my son's record still has those things. And on the very bottom with a tiny print where it says the decision to reverse those. And we told her, and she said that you got to contact this person if you want to remove Ethan's name on that incident. And we told her it's not about removing Ethan's name in there. It's about removing that incident on Ethan's name, because that incident didn't happen. And we even pointed to the NRS to guide her. But despite that, she's still adamant to remove it. She still, her email was, as I said. It's like, in a nice way of saying, I told you so. As I said, email this person to communicate. We got an advice again from Deborah. She said she's going to talk to Dr. Scabella about it. She advised us to email all those people.
We just want to, because we want to avoid the runaround, because we feel like it's happening again. Like she's saying to email this person to get it removed, to request. So what Deborah's idea was really good, that we were thinking about send the email through the supervisors as well, the principal, and then the person she asked us. And then from there, we asked the record to be cleared from my son's, the incident. And they did soon, maybe in a week time, it was already addressed.
Was Dr. Scabella emailed, right? A couple email from Dr. Scabella. I know because Deborah talked to him. Deborah is really great. So we got that decision from Dr. Scabella said that your son's record is cleared because, like what we said, the letter of the law is expunged. You know, the principal thought it was just removing my son's name in there. No, the incident didn't happen at all. Dr. Scavella is a fair-minded professional who has the hearts of parents.
But really, thank God and thank Power to Parent that we were able to navigate through this process and successfully resolve the issue we have with the school and get my
Yeah.
son's name cleared. When we have Power to Parent, it feels like they're always there beside us. They never left our side. That if we feel like, are we still doing this, or do we still have the, I mean, desire to continue with this? Because it really weighs heavy on us because we can't fully understand how come this is happening to us. But with them beside us, they kind of fire us up to continue, to be there for your son, to advocate, because we're the best advocates for children. We're the parents. We should be the one doing this. And they really supported us all the way. And without them, it will be very difficult for us to go through this and finish it all the way without any support from them. So we really value and appreciate the time they spent with us, guiding us and giving us all these suggestions, recommendations, and directions which they think will be most helpful for us to be successful in this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's gonna be hard without them, and they really are a true powerful tool for parents, all the parents, especially here in our state.
My son is a good-spirited, well-meaning boy. And I told him, son, you want to move school because they gave you this problem. Know that. I have my friends over there. I did not do anything. And I know you're going to fight for me. What he did was he stayed the course. And then, like I said, Power to Parent was there. I mean, you don't even have to pay a single cent for them to help you, much more protect you. Their time is valuable. I mean, there are times where Deborah and my wife were still conversing at 8, 9 in the evening. Where can you get that? I mean, you hire a lawyer, they run by a fraction. And they charge like, what, $400. In this day and age where parents are more and more being stripped of their parental rights, making best decisions for our kids, we lend them our kids to be educated, not to be indoctrinated. My son said that he's a straight boy, and for him to be charged with hate crime, that is inappropriate. No matter what background you are, you'll be behind your children. And then, but like I said, our words as one family, a small family, as one student, they would not look at it as, they have more weight. I mean, let's just, let them, languish in that. Maybe they will give up. But with Power to Parent on our side and the support, the backing that they have, we were able to get the decision that we prayed for.